Hey guys, it's Mr. Jack and 000 here, back with Automation the car company Tycoon game, and what you're seeing right now is one of my latest builds called the Kingston Paladin GT-X. This vehicle is the fastest production car on the market and on my channel with a massive, menacing boxer engine. All that I can say about this car is that it's unrealistically fast, corners well, and it nearly costs as much as a Maybach Accelero of $6.19 million. No matter how much it costs, people will still buy it, just believe me on this one. It has a lap time of 1 minute, 5 seconds, 43 milliseconds at the quote-unquote Top Gear test track, 1 minute, 48 seconds, 49 milliseconds at the automation track, and 6 minutes, 28 seconds, 67 milliseconds at the Nurburgring Nordschleife, cause why not? It has a top speed of 345 miles per hour and a 0 to 60 in 2.2 seconds flat. This vehicle uses the most powerful Boxer 6 engine as of right now, dubbed the God of Boxer 6, that produces 2,901.7 horsepower and 1,836.7 foot-pounds of torque. It has a fuel efficiency rating of 6.8 miles per gallon and weighs 3,722.1 pounds or 1,688.3 kilograms. And for the market, it's a great competitor in the hypercar market, but horribly competes in the luxury premium, convertible sport, and GT premium car markets, probably because it goes stupid fast with an unrealistically powered engine. In terms of how I made the Paladin GT-X, the panel material will be made out of carbon fiber with a monocoque chassis also made out of carbon fiber, with a front longitudinal engine placement, and the front suspension is a double wishbone, and the rear suspension is a push rod. For the engine, it uses my rendition of the most powerful Boxer 6 engine in this game as of right now. Instead of going over the specs again, I'll put the video of how I made it this powerful in the card system on the top right of the screen if you want to learn more about this engine. So now, let's head on over to the drivetrain. For the drivetrain, we're going to be using an all-wheel drive setup with a dual-clutch 6-speed with the top speed set to 355.4 miles per hour. The spacing is kept as is. We're going to be using an electric LSD with the power distribution set to 46% in the front and 54% in the back. For the tires, we're going to be using semi-slicks with the front and back tire whips are set at an even 265 millimeters in the front and back, running on 17-inch magnesium rims. For the brakes, we're going to be using carbon ceramic 3-piston brakes in the front with the front brake size set to 310 millimeters, and the rear brakes is a little bit abysmal, but who cares? Carbon ceramic 1-pistons with the size set to 250 millimeters, running on full racing brakes. For the aerodynamics, we're going to be using a downforce undertree, the downforce setting set to a 40, with an active wing with cooling flaps, even though I don't know where the cooling flaps are at with this vehicle. Probably right here in between the grill or something. And with the active wing, give it a tiny wing, because why not? If we had a bigger wing, then the game would complain about downforce, saying that your car would bottom out too much. For the interior, instead of making it a 4 or 5-seater with the back row right here, just made it a 2-seater with a sport interior and a luxury infotainment. It'll be a little bit overkill if we'd done a luxury HUD with this type of vehicle, but a luxury infotainment is good enough with this vehicle. For safety and everything, it's pretty much back style. We got electrical variable power steering with electronic stability control with launch control and advanced 2020 safety standards. And for suspension, we're going to be using active sport springs with semi-active dampers, an early option, or passive sway bars running on a sport preset. Despite a good amount of problems on here, such as the quality issues, dampers, brake force being too hard, and the problems with the engine and everything, we're going to export this to BeamNG.drive and test it out. So here we are at the bottom map of the Spa Francorchamps, if I'm saying that right, and this is a map that some users created. It was a ported map from Assetto Corsa into BeamNG.drive, and taking a brief look at this car, even though I'm not the world's best at making supercars like this guy here, even though we can just ignore this tiny spoiler right here. Well, it took me several hours to build this type of car. I kind of went with a Nissan GTR type of, like a skylight type of brake lights right here as one of the brake light assets on here. You got the big taillights here, and it kind of gets a little bit smaller right here, the auxiliary taillights. And at this rear diffuser right here that surprisingly doesn't put any downforce in automation. And looking at the front, it's kind of interesting. I put some Audi R8 brake lights and convert them into headlights. And what's a little bit weird right here, if I can kind of see it, is that the assets don't really work that well right here. You got this black spot along the headlights right here, including this piece right here. I don't know if that's intentional or not. So overall, it's an aggressive looking supercar. Even though I think this is my third supercar that I've built in automation in the BeamNG.drive, I should probably build more in the future just to get used to building cars like this. So here I am out of turn 1 of the Spa right here, and we're going to be doing some basic performance tests with this vehicle. The first we're going to be doing is a 0 to 62 acceleration test, second a 62 to 0 brake test, and lastly a top speed run, which I guarantee how quick this car is. We're going to definitely reach top speed, hopefully with these straightaways on this track. So right now, start with the 0 to 62 acceleration test right now. And we got, as expected, 1 to 63. That is flawed thanks to BeamNG in 2.23 seconds, 105.52 feet. And get some flat land going here and do the brake test. Let's do it after this bend up here. So brake test. Now, that may have been a 63. It looked like it. Oh no, 62 to 0 in 2.58 seconds of 105.90 feet. Almost as long enough as my 0 to 62 test. That's very surprising. So now for top speed run, let's just go. Accelerate and not let off the throttle and just drive like we're driving at the frickin' Spa. And with this wheel spin, we already hit 200 miles an hour. Okay, let's brake here for the turn up here at this bend, and brakes are fading. Yep, I should have put bigger brakes on here, which I don't think that'll constitute with the weight of this vehicle, and there goes the tire. Which I don't think putting bigger brakes on this would constitute from stopping and cornering around this track. So it's too late. Alright, we're on that bend. We're getting significant wheel spin. ECS isn't saving my life one bit. Here's the straightaway. Let's just gun it all the way. And we're good sitting sideways because of poor aerodynamics. Let's slow down here. 250 mile an hour crash. Hit the back end. So top speed run, kind of a fail, even though we should probably do this like the Bonneville Salt Flats or something, and this is going to be even more brutal. Okay, this is going to be very brutal. 198 mile an hour collision. Into the barrier. Impact detected stopping car. Main engine broken. The tire is going to assault us. And sure enough, the tire assaulted us. And it's going to hop over the vehicle. And we're going to rebound off this wall at 99 miles an hour. Still not over. And there goes another tire. And there goes the engine. And so full time. And the engine about took off. So top speed run, unfortunately a fail. So briefly look at the damage. A tire's been deflated. This guy, or a tire that just left the chat. The chassis somewhat held up pretty well despite the harsh collisions. Like the back end looks okay. The left side looks pretty bad, to be honest. Front end, wow, really crinkled that up. Right side, not a whole lot of damage, but we did bend this wheel up pretty good and bent the rear suspension too. What if we take a look at the inside, like if the driver would have been in here? Driver, if Geforces were a part of the question, he would survive. Might have made the world's safest supercar. So let's stay at this map here, and we'll be doing 2 laps of this race course here with the Paladin right here. And we're going to be doing one with a rolling start, like we're doing a hot lap or something, or an in lap or whatever. And hopefully we don't crash like we did earlier, and keep this in a straight line, and the brake's not going to fade out like a million times, which it's going to do so. So right now, take you to the starting line of this racetrack right now. So here we are way over here, like at the last couple turns of this racetrack. And we're just going to get ready right here because I have nothing else to say about this car or this track. So get ready to start and ready, go. Gun it. And greet Mr. Wheelspin. And what if we brake? 900-degree brakes to the front. I'm thinking it's going to be the same thing in the back. I didn't really pay attention. I paid attention to the front, but not the back. So gun it. And now we start the lap time and hit the brakes right here because we're going to hyper fade. 870 degrees in the back. Yeah, we're just hyper fading in the front. I should have put some like 370s or something, like 6 pisses in the front. Man, I should probably... Why are my brakes blue? Hold up. Am I having cooling issues with the brakes or something? They just turned blue at first. Look, the brakes are turning blue. They go from like 800 degrees down to like 1300 degrees. I don't know what's going on here. Really smoking the brakes. 1500 degrees Fahrenheit. Keep braking. I thought I had enough speed to go on a turn, going at around 1 G's of steering, 1.1 right there. And more wheel spin, because why not? Thanks to a 2,900 horsepower engine that's about almost half as a Devil 16, which has, 5,000 horsepower for the, high performance model, not the daily driven gas pump model. And that was a clean drift, wow. Better than my, Mazda Miata how here. Wow, this is, I think I may as well made one, the safest supercar, and the driftiest supercar right here. We're off track limits, but who cares? We screwed the front end pretty good, and the back end too. We're still driving straight. We're still driving straight. So after this time trial here, doing 2 laps of this race, I'm gonna go to the Nurburgring, the Nordschleife, if I'm saying that right, and just do 1 lap of there to see if this car can survive the Nur, and see if it has a lap time like 6.5 minutes or something like that, almost 7-minute lap time of the Nur. So we're getting 1.2 Gs of steering right there. Went off the track again, and fading the brakes. And going slowly into these last corners, and this thing, wow, can barely handle. But we can drift. So first lap, if we can stay straight as possible, 2 minutes, 48 seconds, 652 milliseconds. So just pump the brakes, and bad idea, hit the back end. When in doubt, hit the back end, because that's pretty much your safe point instead of hitting... Well, now we're sitting sideways, because I dented the chassis and rear left camber up so much that it's affecting the performance of the vehicle a lot. Yeah, look at ECS is trying to save my life, just door slam the right side. Yeah, if you make too much of a powerful vehicle, this is what happens. All-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive, it don't matter. If it just been in rear-wheel drive, forget it. This wouldn't even go in a straight line whatsoever. You have to go like 20% on the gas, and that would be it. No way of surviving that. I just noticed something. Look at the middle right there, the groove of the track, and look at me hitting the brakes. This lights up the groove of the track. Yo, that is weird. I just noticed that I'm lighting up the groove of this track, like the marks in the middle of the track for some odd reason. Is that like trying to highlight the driving line or something? Like this would have been like a regular racing game or something? Okay, we're dead. We're dead. Lost a tire. But we're gonna keep... Oh no, it managed and broken. So, guess that'll do it. Our lap time, 2 minutes, 48 seconds, 652 milliseconds. Second lap time, 1 minute, 50 seconds. It's still counting milliseconds. And let's see what the tire is doing. Very briefly, he's just rolling along. And he'll just go into the wall like always. Like what tires do for a living. So now, take us to the Nurburgring. So let's just do 1 lap of this guy. Okay, 1 lap. You don't have to do 2 laps, so that's great. So let's just do a rolling start, early noon, with the Paladin. Go right now. So here we are, way back here at the Nurburgring, and let's just get ready here, and ready, go. And let's just wait a minute, because I do... Really? You can't show the track out here? So, navigation's useless. So let's just get going here, right now, and hopefully we can survive the Nurburgring, and I swear... Okay! We can leave the Nurburgring like that, and I swear. Yep, we've fallen into the void. And it died. Oh yeah, it died. So let's try that again. Let's not drive off the edge like last time. And right turn. Okay, we're still alive. So that's great. So don't drive off the map. That is #1 priority of racing at the Nurburgring. And we don't have a time. What? Wait, so a time trial is irrelevant on here? Or do I have to, like, do the hot lap feature or something? Like, go to free roam and do a hot lap and holy frame dips. And my fault. Lost a tire again. Thanks to me. Guys, I don't see a checkpoint anywhere. I'm gonna do this in free roam. Alright, so I brought up the hot lap feature on here and just add a checkpoint. So I think I have to do is just launch and just go. So... do a launch, just do a... find a good K launch, and put the parking brake up, so 5,000 go. Alright, now we got time, so... hella lagging. So we got the timer on the top right. Fortunately, we do have that, rather than just going in blind, doing all these laps for no apparent reason at the Nürburgring. Just take it carefully, don't overextend, and just be careful on the brakes. Might as well just do... this. Alright. Better. Much better than... kind of better than last time, going straight into the wall like that. Well, I'm not 100% familiar with the Nürburgring. It's not like I'm new to it or nothing, but it's just I gotta get used to, like, some of the Crap. Well, do that again. So I was trying to say, like, I'm kind of familiar with the Nurburgring. Just gotta get used to, like the turns and stuff like that, like where to turn and stuff like that, each and every layout of the track here. Hopefully I don't screw up like just seconds ago, and just keep this clean as possible, kind of swaying a little. We're doing okay. There goes the Assetto Corsa. Oh, we went kind of airborne and lag. Hella lag and 19 FPS. Well, I disabled the Nvidia FPS counter to top left. Well, oh, I do see it. I'm dumb. Say, we are getting like hella lag spikes on here. I'll just say there was the Assetto Corsa logo just seconds ago. Look at that, 17. And brakes fading. Knees weak. Arms are heavy. There's vomit in this engine already. Mom's for dinner. Well, we're doing okay right now despite like every time it brakes, like hit the brakes. Is it the brake smoke from the fadiness or what? It's like that does it every time we get them lag spikes. I mean, that's weird. Oh no. Mom, I died, and I swear. Recover. Okay, we can cheat. We can cheat. And... wow, oh wow, thanks to wheelspin. I think the game is lagging because of, one, the tire skiddiness every time we get that wheelspin, and some of the brake fade, too. I mean, I can't help it being careful on the drive right here, trying to drive at the Nurb. I thought that corner was about to be tighter, but luckily it wasn't that tight as I thought it was. It's to be one of those times where I get that slow-mo lag, and then I go right into a building. Which there's no buildings on this track, but you know, you get the point. Like that. See? That's your building. A wall. Even drifts can be laggy as hell. Wow, and is this one corner like the carousel or something? This right here? Keep fighting Michael. Hashtag keep fighting Michael. Windeck? What are these names and sponsors? So I think we went through was that carousel or something, that little banked like corner right there. And that pretty much marks like, I think the halfway point of this track, I think. Or maybe like the 60% mark of that the track here. And tap the back end. Great. Alright, good. No steering handling issues because of that, which it shouldn't do that. If it did, then this car's fragile. More crashes. Impact detected. Stopping car, and go. Do the reset penalty, not just instantly go once we get a crash. And someone bring up the crash counter on here because this driving of mine on this track is really ridiculous. This wheel spin, lag, drift lag, smoke lag, everything. It's just that the track is just mildly not optimized for this game as of right now. Even though this is a straight port from Assetto Corsa to BeamNG, like I understand that, but I don't know if this could be improved or not by improving the performance of making it less laggy when I do get that tire skidding, the tire smoke, brake smoke, all that stuff, so that could reduce the amount of like crashes and me just not putting better brakes on this car. Look at that. Lag can really throw you off. Alright, I think this corner and a couple more corners, we get to the straightaway. It seems like we should be like probably 75%, 80% done with this track, because I think an average lap time is like 8 minutes or something, 8.5, like for a 24-hour car, an endurance car, or something like that. Right, and I think this is the straightaway. Yep, this is it. This is the straightaway. The most famous straightaway that can get yourself killed. Audi Sport R8, who cares? And watch the top speed because we got some aerodynamics issues. A lot of top speed aerodynamics issues. Some bumpiness to the track. Ooh, that about killed us right there. Careful, brake a little. You don't really have to brake that much, but lag right there. And get ready for the brakes. Brakes now, brakes now, brakes now. We're getting to our last corners. We do see the checkpoint marker straight ahead. I should get myself ready on the end hot. Man's not hot. Damn it. So, get ready for the end hot lap. Drive careful, drive careful. Last corner, just up ahead. Brake, brake, brake. Skip, skip. Do the beat combo mambo. Hot lap time is going to be in 8 minutes. 52 seconds, 505 milliseconds. So, cross the checkpoint marker again, ends the hot lap. I thought you just hit end hot lapping and then you're done. So... somewhat of an embarrassing run at the Nurburgring, even though I'm not the best at Nürburgring. It's the first time that I've done this in BeamNG with this powerful of a vehicle. Just first time in general, put it that way. With this powerful vehicle and the performance issues, this really took a big toll of how I drove on this track. Some of it was on me, and how I built this car for brakes, and some of the minor factors was the performance issues. So an 852, what is that in, what does that compare to? So in 852, we did just as good as a Volkswagen Golf GTI Mark V. Wow, that is horrible for this fast of a vehicle. That is ridiculous. We've beaten the Golf, so that is our biggest achievement. So last part of the video, end its misery by jumping this off a cliff at you-know-what of leap of death. So here is our boy Paladin. Get the gas, go super big duper cooper fast right here. And bottoming out 101. 87 miles an hour on that exit, and we're gonna go really, really far with this guy here. Going over 200 miles an hour. Gonna hit this side of the cliff face 16 times. Hide UI. Goes the back end and the front end. And we break the engine because of the thing jiggling. Impact detected, stopping car. Who cares? Go to do 2 times, and right here. Main engine broken, just like that. Hide the UI, go the rest of the way out at this cliff here. And we're flipping like crazy, really flatten this thing. Hold on, take a look, take a good look at this. Yeah, really flatten this, pretty good, wow. Alright, do 8 times it seems like. And hit right there, there goes the engine. Really got a good look at the car, how flat it is, and back to full time. And I think we're gonna get it one more hit and then we can splash. So, go to 4 times, get a hit right here. Pretty brutal one, and full time to splash. So, splash. There goes some ninjutsu type of stuff with the engine keeping us afloat. Okay then, there goes the tire. Who cares? So bring us up to flat land and see the aftermath of the destruction. So here's the car. That just dropped down kind of violently, and this thing has really flattened big time. Even looking at like, every angle of the car, look, that is like hell flat. Bent the turbo up quite a bit. And like, look at the engine. Like, how intact is the engine right here? There's part of it, the cams right there, the headers, and seems okay despite a damaged turbocharger. So right side's damaged, front end, good amount of there, left side, a good amount of there too. So last part of the video, we're gonna be driving down this cliff face here, driving as fast as we can into a straight line, and then I freeze physics, go to free cam, and spawn ourselves like somewheres at the top, like right here of this peak of the mountain here, and crash back down here to this crater. So right now, resume physics and get driving. See how fast we can go, and then we can F7 it at the top of that mountain peak. So, take 2. That was unexpected. So avoid that at all costs. Go a little bit slower and gun it, gun it. Alright, gun it. So, 89. That was kind of bad, but 89 miles an hour it is. So here we are, like good 6 feet above the ground, and we're about to charge straight down the mountain into this crater. So resume physics now. 90 miles an hour upon exit. Well, 89 to 90 right around that region of speed. And this is going to be a brutal one. I can tell you that. Right next to this bridge, are we going to hit? Yes, we are. Okay, this is going to be less brutal. I thought it would be really brutal as it went face down at first. So, gonna get free cam. Okay, free cam. Hide the UI, get a camera. Do right here. Look how flat that is. Like, perfectly level. Alright, down here. Screw the back end. And screw the front end. Ooh. Really screwed the front end up pretty good. And I didn't reset the FOV, so good enough. So, full time. Killed the engine. Like that, killed the engine. Full time it all the way. No slow-mo. Just do that. Main engine broken again. You don't have to tell me that twice. And this is gonna be a painful ride here. So, hit right here. Impact detected. Stopping car again. Probably for the second time down this run right here. And I swear, if we're gonna get stuck at like... probably here, or like right around this region right here. It's like always this region, I get stuck, and then I have to fling it with the node grabber to 3rd time in a row. So we fling it down and get ourselves to the bottom, and we get stuck. So, max strength. There we go, now we reach the bottom at a high speed. There goes the tire. Brakes are damaged, rear tire broken. We're still spinning like crazy, so once this comes up to a rest, show you the aftermath of destruction. While the car stops, and the engine stops doing that ninjutsu type of stuff, and we are stopped at an awkward place, so it's F7 it, like, right here. So, looking at the damage, we got a single hazard light going off at a random place right here. The tire is bent at a 90-degree angle, like so. Can we yeet this tire? Well, we fixed it. So, we really screwed this car up. We messed up some polygons right here. Front end, worse than the first one. even though it's not as flat like the one from earlier. So we really screwed this car up big time. Messed up the right sides, the tires are gone except for this guy right here. This is our lone survivor right here, which that's pretty interesting. So in overall, like the first and second ones really killed the car, so this car is definitely out of existence. So that'll do it with automation and BeamNG.drive with the Kingston Paladin GT-X. With this type of car, I know it was expected to get a buttload of wheel spin like my DJ Quicksuit Creeper, which was the quickest car that I've ever made. Not the fastest, but quickest. Which had like a kind of similar performing engine around like 2,000 horsepower or something like that. And that thing really took off. But with this car, we get a lot of brake fade because of me not knowing what a brake is and how to put bigger brakes in this type of car. So that's a big learning factor for me if I want to build a high performance car in the future. Put bigger brakes, put 420s in the front and back, 6 pistons, 100% racing brakes, and there you go. So the only downside to this car, sucks you didn't get like 300 miles an hour, is that it is pretty quick, it is wheel spinny, uncontrollably, and sucks at braking. So that's something I got to revise in the future. So this has been Mr. Jacket 000. I'll see you in the next video.